My guy was actually going to be Calvin Ridley. And we obviously know the pedigree there is solid. He is entering year 3, some availability issues, but pretty consistent across the board in terms of his catch rate, yards per catch, and all that. His yards per catch were up last year. But Greg, I'm kind of feeling like a major breakout type of season, like a Chris Godwin last year. So just talk about what you've seen from Calvin Ridley. Has he met your, pre-draft, if you will, when you studied him? Has he met your expectations through year 2?
I would say probably not. I think I thought a little more of him coming out. But I remember having a very interesting conversation a couple of years ago at the Combine with Terry McDonough of the Arizona Cardinals, who's been in personnel in the NFL for a long, long time, and I know Terry well. And he was not as high on Ridley as others. And I think back to that conversation, and I think Ridley is a nice compliment. I think you can line him up on the outside. Clearly, they do that. I think he works in the slot effectively as well. But I think he's a piece of a pass game, John. I'm not sure that he's a big time volume numbers guy. I think he'll always have games, and again, that's in fantasy, that's what makes it hard, because it's hard to pick, hey, what week is he going to go 8 for 130? And then the next week he goes, 2 for 19. You just don't know. But I'm not sure if he's that consistent week-to-week player. Hurst was not a high-volume player in Baltimore because of the nature of their offense, but I don't know how you have him mapped out, but I would expect him to be somewhat of a high-volume guy in this offense.
Well, actually, Hayden Hurst is probably my favorite tight end to draft this year for fantasy. It's not just the player, it's also the value, and he's very, very affordable. I can give you an example, not that you're into the lingo here, but his average draft position is like, I don't know, 125, 130. You compare that to a guy like, I don't know, Hunter Henry, who I do love, but he's not put it together. He's going like 60 picks earlier in the draft. So I think Hayden Hurst is going to represent a great value here. And obviously, I'm glad to hear what you said about him comparing him to Austin Hooper. I mean, no knock on Hooper, but again, you can expand on that a little bit. You think that Hayden Hurst is a little bit more athletic, perhaps a little bit more dangerous after the catch than Austin Hooper, and maybe a little bit more downfield action than Austin Hooper.
Yeah, Hooper's a really good player. There's no getting around it. But I think that to me, it's kind of the comparison I'd make is that I think Hooper is more like a Zach Ertz and Hurst is more like a Goddard, Dallas Goddard. I think he's a little more athletic and potentially intermediate and vertically explosive. Now, I'm not just going to sit here and tell you he's going to average 16 or 17 yards a catch. That's not going to happen. But I just think that he can do a little more probably after the catch than Hooper could.
I don't know that you could really expect much from Todd Gurley. I don't know what you expect. Number 2, John, we talked about this on our show last week. They don't have a quality backup running back.
No. They were 30th in rushing last year.
They may not have a good starting running back.
No, they don't. Well, Greg, we'll get your thoughts on Gurley real quick. Then we'll transition over.
It's all based on tape study, as you know, guys.
Yeah,
I mean, that's. I thought last year Todd Gurley did not look very good. Now, again, I can't speak to what's happened after 3-4 months. I don't. Those are questions we can't answer. But I can tell you, last year the tape was not particularly good. Todd Gurley's always been a downhill power explosion runner. He's not a Zuzu runner. He's not a naturally shifty guy, although he has a little bit.
Yeah.
But he's a power explosion runner and a momentum runner, a velocity runner.
Yep.
And that wasn't there on tape last year. Now,
right.
That's all I can tell you. I can't sit here and tell you what's going to happen in 3 months. That's all I can tell you.
Not going to make you miss whatsoever most times. And, by the way, this O-line, I know they had some injury problems last year, Lindstrom in particular. And I know they've invested a lot of number 1 picks in this O-line, but I don't know. I'm kind of underwhelmed. They could not run the damn ball last year whatsoever.